This video is going to be about answering some frequently asked questions that I get from my yoga students. The first one that I have up on my website is, what do I need for a yoga class? A lot of times if you're a beginner, you're going to your first yoga class, you want to make sure that you're going to be prepared. First thing, you want to keep an open mind. It's really important to do that because when you go into yoga, when you go into your first class, you're going to experience some things that you haven't experienced before. You're going to move your body in ways that you haven't experienced. There might be some chanting, there might be some words in Sanskrit depending on what kind of a yoga class you're taking. So make sure that you keep an open mind and allow yourself to kind of absorb all the things that you're experiencing during that class. Try not to judge them and really just experience it for what it is, this new thing of yoga that you're trying to explore. With that being said, we'll go into the other 4 things that are important to keep in mind for your first yoga practice. So you're going to want to wear comfortable clothes. A lot of times people like to go with something a little bit more fitted and with a stretch to the material so that it's not going to get in your way as you move through the different poses. It's going to move with you. But make sure that you wear something that you're comfortable with. A lot of times you'll see people in like little tiny outfits doing yoga. If you're not comfortable exposing that much skin or wearing little shorts or whatever it is, then wear something that you're comfortable with, that you're going to feel okay moving around in. But make sure that it doesn't have so much fabric that it's going to get in your way. You don't want things with buttons or zippers or anything like that, because if you go into certain poses you might be leaning on that button and it's going to dig in and it's not going to be very comfortable. Our next one is you're going to need a yoga mat. This also depends on where you're practicing. Most of the time you're going to need a yoga mat though. Sometimes you can borrow a yoga mat, sometimes the teacher brings extra, or if you're practicing at a studio, a lot of times they will have extras there that you can use. If you're practicing on the beach, sometimes people prefer not to use a mat if you're on the beach, but it depends on the person. Some people don't like to get all sandy as well, so you might still want to bring even a towel. Might be more comfortable if you're on the beach, or if you're practicing in the park and you don't want to get your mat dirty, you might want to bring a towel instead. Which is actually the next thing that I wanted to say you should bring. Even if you're bringing your mat to class, try to bring a towel or a small blanket. This is probably one of the most versatile props that you can have in yoga. If you have pain in your knee when you're doing a lunge, you can fold up that blanket, put it underneath your knee, give yourself a little bit of cushion. You can put it underneath your head when you're in Shavasana. You can maybe use it as a strap. If you're having trouble reaching your foot, you can wrap it around your foot, give yourself a little bit of leverage there. There's really a lot that you can do. If you're having trouble in your hip openers, you can put the blanket underneath your hips, prop yourself up a little bit, makes your hip openers more comfortable. There's a lot of things that you can do with a towel, including if you get really sweaty, you can wipe yourself off. So definitely try to bring a towel. The next one is water. You're going to want to have something to drink, and water is really the perfect thing to bring. So if you definitely don't want to bring soda or anything like that that's going to have sugar in it. It's just not good for you. Even sports drinks, I don't recommend. You can find videos on how to make a homemade sports drink, which is really good for you. It's not going to have chemicals or dyes or preservatives in it, because you're really trying to make yourself healthier through your yoga practice. So you don't want to add in those things that are going to be counterproductive to that. So try to drink water and make sure that you drink it before, during, and after your practice so that you're really hydrated. That's going to make sure that you don't injure yourself because your muscles are hydrated, they can stretch better, your joints are going to be more comfortable, more hydrated, and you're going to be able to think more clearly. You're going to have more energy when you're hydrated too. So make sure that you drink. And I think that covers it all. So those are the things that you're going to need when you start practicing yoga or when you go to your first class. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment. You can go on my website and leave me a comment on there as well if you'd like, and enjoy your practice.